Does it ever stop hurting? Welcome to my channel, guys. I'm AJ Van Bucker, Master AJ Van Bucker, international bouncer, martial arts master, fighter, street fighter. Done it in many countries. And I've been also training since I was 4. So topic of this video is, does it ever stop hurting? As far as flexibility, training, punching, kicking, all of that good stuff. And the answer is no, it never really stops hurting. Especially not when you're training as much as I do. I train like literally all the time. I think in a month, I just recently looked at the schedule and I've trained like 570 times in a year time. So I've gone to the gym 570 times in 365 days. So you guys do the math how much I train. I'll be going like multiple times a day. So I'll be going 2-3 times a day, just like any real professional athlete. Even though I don't get paid to train, if I don't train, I just don't feel right. It's something that I've always done. So, like for example, right now I've trained a complete month straight, the entire month of July. So from the 1st to the 31st, I may have only taken 1 or 2 days full rest, not even full rest, but sort of rest. And today's the 1st. And the last 2-3 days I've kind of taken it easy as far as my legs. I haven't completely rested, but as far as my leg training is concerned, I've been taking it easy. But even though I've already been resting for 3 days straight, I still have a lot of pain in my hamstring from all the axe kicks, all the kick training, all the weight training. I mean, out of 7 days in a week, I'll probably train legs 5 days out of the week. Maybe 1 day a week, 2 days a week, I'll do arms or mix it up. So basically, these guys run a red light. I just ran a red light because they ran a red light. But anyways, yeah, it never stops hurting. So if you think that one day you'll get to a level where you can stay at a high level with striking, kicking fast, being flexible and all that, and maintaining a high level without pain, this is not the case. This is the reason why Sensei Seth, Scott Atkins, and many other martial artists who can't do the splits, they will cope and say things like, actually Seth said once, I don't see the point of being able to do full splits, in one of the videos where he's talking about flexibility. Scott Atkins, on the other hand, talks about not hurting yourself, not forcing it too much, not making it hurt. The reality is most people, even high-level martial artists or medium-level martial artists, because Sensei Seth and Scott Atkins are mid-level martial artists. They're not like super high-level. This is why they also can't do the splits and why they're misinformed. I don't know if they really genuinely believe that BS that like Sensei says before, build that up. He doesn't see the point of being able to do splits. I just don't believe it. I don't buy it that he doesn't see the point. It's just a cope, and it never stops hurting, guys. It's BS. My left leg, I must say, is at a level where sometimes I don't feel any pain at all. Like my left leg is completely healed. I can do anything with it right now. But my left leg is genetically and physically, and I've trained it a lot, it's just more flexible than my right leg. My hamstring is way more flexible than my right, so I'm always in some sort of pain. Right now my entire body is pretty much healed except for like my joints, my ankles, my knees, my shoulder, my elbows. They feel a little bit like sore-ish, inflamed from all the training. But that's normal, I train non-stop, so you're gonna have this inflammation stuff, and you gotta take some days where you're sort of resting. And like today, for example, is a rest day. But as you guys can see, I'm biking. I'm always cycling. So I cycle super relaxed, so I count this as a rest day. But it's not really a rest day because I cycled right now for about 45 minutes. But I don't really count this as training, even though for some people, this is as much training as they're ever going to get. And this is one of the reasons too also why DUTCH-KICKBOXERS are so good, why our low kicks are so good. It's not just the drilling. It's not just the mentality that we have here with the sparring and all that. It's a little bit of everything. It's the food, the culture of always cycling since we're little kids. We have a sports culture, a soccer culture, so everyone is always working out their legs here. Add to that the way we drill the low kicks. Add to that that everybody here has health insurance, and if you get your ass kicked or you get physically beaten in a kickboxing class, you cannot legally take action in Holland like you can take in many countries against the dojo or against the school. Like, you know, your insurance will cover the medical costs if you do get knocked out or something like this. And the mentality is just way different here. Andrew Tate recently said in one of his videos that people who like to fight or who are not scared to fight are psychos. So he actually indirectly called most Dutch kickboxers psychos, because people who take Dutch kickboxing here or who go to a kickboxing class here, they already go with the mentality that they're gonna take a few punches to the head or a kick or a low kick. They already know what they're putting themselves up against. Because it's common knowledge here that you get hurt and bruised up when you do kickboxing, even recreatively. So this is some of the reasons why we're the best here at striking, we're the best here at kickboxing. It's hard here, you know? And it's like, if you don't want to get hit in the face and you don't feel like beating people up, most people won't go to a kickboxing class. Some people go really because they enjoy it. And the people that enjoy getting hit and hitting people and sparring all the damn time, those are the guys that get good. And this is the thing, if you don't spar hard, if your body can't take it, you're not gonna get there anyways. If a low kick, taking a low kick in sparring or taking a rib kick in sparring is gonna break you, you get these kind of injuries that you can't recover from, then fighting's not for you. It's only for the strongest of the strongest mentally and physically. It's for the rough, tough ass people here in Holland. And another reason why people here are maybe this crazy or this violent is because here, when you use violence or when you get into a fight, there's not many consequences legally. It's not like in Spain where the cops will show up, kick your ass, and then ask questions later and for sure take you to jail. They will hunt you down if you use violence against an individual. Here in Holland, I've been accused so many times. Like one time I got arrested a year later and I got released that same day and I knocked out 3 people. I'm just saying, like here, people are not afraid to hit you in the face. For example, I know the story of a Spanish dude that I met in Spain when I was over there in Madrid. And he told me how he came to Holland on vacation and he got into an argument with a bus driver, a white, tall bus driver. He was just asking him something, but the bus driver was just rude to him. He assumed he was Turkish and a Muslim or a Moroccan. But, you know, since he didn't speak no English, he was not, I mean, I think he tried to tell him that he was from Spain. But at that point, the argument that started, the bus driver didn't give a shit and he punched him in the face. This guy went to the police to try and file a complaint. It didn't work. The cops didn't take him seriously. I don't even think they took a report. They were on the side of the bus driver before anything happened, you know. So that's just an example, you know. Here, many people will use violence and not much they will do after you beat somebody up. So this is also one of the reasons why Dutch kickboxing is so hard and why people even decide to take it, because this is one of the countries, I guess, guys, I mean, I lived in LA, I lived in Mexico, I lived all over Holland, I lived in Spain. And one thing, and I've traveled to many other countries because my dad was a pilot. So one thing I can tell you guys, this is one of the countries where men will start the most shit with other men. Like looking at each other up and down, mad dogging, acting stoer or tough or acting like a tough guy. It's a common thing here. When you hear the word acting stoer, that's what it means. That's Holland, you know? People acting tough. Yeah, so that's just how it is here. And last but not least, this BS that I'm hearing a lot of the manosphere fake ass alpha males say lately is faking bravery when you're scared is being brave. What? So if you buy a fake Gucci belt, it's real. If you are a woman and you put on fake makeup and filters, it's real, that's really you. I mean, just think logically, guys. This is bullshit, okay? So, like, for example, me, I'm not afraid of fights. I'm not afraid to die. So what does that mean? That I'm not brave because I'm not afraid? And I'll get in front of between someone pointing a gun and someone who's innocent? Or get in between fights and all these other crazy things that I do? Like, I do all those things and I'm not brave because, you know, I don't feel fear anymore. When you do something that you're afraid of repetitively, all the time, you're no longer afraid, my dudes. Andrew Tate and all these other pussies from the manosphere, like that valuetainment moron and everybody else who talks about this. It's like, no, bro. Who's gonna perform better? Someone who is calm and used to being around the chaos and who likes it, and who instead of fear just feels adrenaline and already knows how to use it to his advantage without no actual fear, or someone who's fucking afraid, faking to be brave, like Andrew Tate or whoever the fuck else you guys want to throw at me. This is why bouncers almost always beat everybody up in real fights, even if the other person's trained more, even if the other person has maybe experience fighting in some kind of martial arts or some kind of sports, some kind of, I call sports fighting play fighting, because real fighting is what happens here on the goddamn street, you know. So it's like, if you're used to always getting in street fights, there's certain things about sports fighting that even look retarded to you. For example, for me, like clinching is one of them. Clinching is one of the most stupid things I ever see in sports, period. You see it in wrestling, you see it in MMA, you see it in kickboxing, you see it everywhere. But one thing that I've learned being a bouncer is that a lot of people headbutt in street fights. Like, you don't have the luxury of clinching in a real fight. And I think clinching shouldn't even be allowed. I think, not allowed, but I think headbutting should be allowed in almost every sport, at least in MMA. And in some sports, I think the headbutting should be allowed, because it'll take all that clinching bullshit away. In a real fight, you don't have the luxury to do that. And another thing I'll expose in this video is Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan in one video said, you guys may look this up, where he talks about, like, what are you going to do if you get into a street fight with a guy that can actually fight? And the guy just takes his time with you. Just takes his time with you until you get tired. Like, that's not how street fights go, my dude. You don't have the luxury to have someone get tired. I think Joe Rogan has watched too many sports fights and not enough street fights. Like, I breathe street fights. I live and breathe street fights. Like, Joe Rogan doesn't. Joe Rogan, even though he sees a lot of UFC fights and all that, just think about it, guys. I worked 20 years in clubs. Some clubs that have tons of fights. So this means day in and day out, almost every night, I'm dealing and seeing something. Fights, brawls, almost fights, this, that. So I can tell you guys from experience, fights don't even get to 30 seconds most of the time. Not even, like, they never get to a minute. Like, even if it's a professional fighter, he will feel it. You will feel it in a street fight that you need to end it fast. You will fucking feel the pressure of ending it quick. You're not gonna, like, take your time with someone and get him tired. There's a lot of factors that come into place when you're getting into a street fight. People recording, people calling the cops, people jumping in, the guy's friends, the guy might pull out a knife. He might rush you in a way, bombing at you, that you don't have the luxury to take your time with the guy. Especially as street fighters, they will try to end it quick, and a lot of times in a dirty way. So it's like, it's yeah, I'm going on a rant here, and I'm getting tired because I'm holding the phone against this pole. And but that'll be it for this video, guys. To the next video, catch you later.